What's up, you guys? It's serious but not too serious, and welcome back to Let's Play. I have no idea what this game is, except that it's called Lucid 9, I guess. It was a free game on Steam. It's apparently supposed to be a psychological horror, I hope. I'm not sure. Apparently there's anime involved, so that'll be good. So let's get it going. This already ends badly. Perfect, my favorite color. I've always loved red. It's different, brilliant, vibrant, unusual, a happy anomaly. Just like me, red isn't much for nature, really only shows up in autumn, and even then it's a dreary rust or a nauseating cherry. And we just can't have that. Not when it deserves so much more. A whispering breeze filters through my thoughts, brushing against my skin with icy fingers. I allow myself a moment to pause, to relish, to admire, to welcome the fresh scent of freedom. Let's see how creepy I can be. This is what I live for. When I open my eyes, I spot a frail leaf dancing upon the backbone of the passing wind, afflicting the world with its appalling shade of asparagus. I pluck it from its branch with the edges of my stained fingernails. Oh no. Disgusting. How anyone can enjoy this color eludes me. A soft groan redirects my attention to my waiting masterpiece. Oh god. It's lovely, really. Spread across the ground, face contorted with fear, twitching, cold fingers clutching in empty air. Not my best work, unfortunately. The canvas died much quicker than I had originally expected, even when I tried to carve a bit slower. Well, no matter. Today shall be a palette for my paint. I make quick work of my new palette's chest, ignoring the twitching of post-mortem reflexes from its mutilated kneecaps. Oh god. The sweet color of red, true crimson, pure scarlet, slinks down its pallid abdomen, licking at the blossoming turf below. I dip my fingers into the settling pool of bloody worm. It's warm, sticky like syrup or settling gelatin. The sweet scent wafts to my nostrils. Ah, it smells of iron, of rust, of all things sharp and beautiful. Oh god. Now a new canvas. I check my surroundings, evaluating the surfaces and textures and sizes and shapes of every object in sight. None are quite so satisfactory as human skin with its elasticity, its porous absorption, its innately warm tint. But a substitute is required, so a substitute I must find. Presently, I realize that I'm still holding that eyesore of a leaf in my hand. Well, I suppose this will have to do. In one bold, fluid stroke, I wipe my paint across the leaf, the very essence of Van Gogh himself. Ah yes, dear Vincent, the man cut off his own ear to send a message when words just didn't suffice. I always admired his style. I take a moment to appreciate the leaf's newfound radiance before searching for a proper display. Something like this deserves to be exhibited. Why did I decide to play this game? I hang my canvas back on its branch. That's better. If only there was more of this color in the world. The unexpected interlude of my phone drives me out of my thoughts. The irritating thing just loves to ruin the climax. Yes. Is it done? You're always in such a rush. Well, yes, it's done. I was having a moment. There's more where that came from. You interrupted me. You're the one who wanted to know when it was finished. A thrill leaps through my veins, my lips pull into a tenuous smile. Well, is it? Same time, same place as usual. You know the drill. I nearly clap my hands, but master myself for one final word. Understood. Fuck. I cut the transmission to eagerly withdraw a small bottle from within my jacket. Only one pill left, but no matter, I'll be getting more soon enough. I popped the final capsule into my mouth, puncturing its skin with my teeth and rolling the bitter gel over my tongue. Why is this so descriptive? Now this is life. As a wave of euphoria sweeps through me, I turn from my handiwork, strolling out of the meadow. Today's fun is over, but tomorrow will hold just as many pleasures. Why? Ma? Yama Ishimoto? Huh? I sluggishly pull my head upward, fixing my eyes on the woman at the front of the classroom. Are you even listening? I hide an instinctive smirk. Technically, no. I've always found napping more appealing than relearning history that's been drilled into me since age 6. Not that I can actually say that, in all honesty. This teacher doesn't deserve that kind of callous response. Yes, ma'am. Perfect. Summarize the whole section we've been reviewing. Hate teachers like that. I glance at the touchscreen board mounted behind the teacher, quickly skimming over the graphics and typography hovering on its surface. History of Isamu, our glorious metropolis, beginning 2000 AD. Ah, easy. Life was really boring for a while. We weren't in debt, weren't at war, and we're basically doing nothing interesting. The teacher slips purse into a thin line as the classroom erupts into snickers. I feel the slightest tinge of regret and rein in my sarcasm. Then in 2007, America entered a debt crisis that caused a worldwide financial crisis. Japan was one of the countries most affected by this, well, second to China. And why might that be? Because we were dumb about who we partnered with. She taps her fingers impatiently on her desk, her eyes narrowing into slits. Well, she asked me to summarize the chapter. She didn't ask me how. Anyway, our glorious government didn't handle the situation so hot, so we had a lovely depression with all-time highs of unemployment and crime. Good effort, good star. Gold star. The teacher waves her hand as the class roars with laughter. Right, that's enough. I'll be needing to talk with you after class about your attitude, young man. Meh. In other news, grass is green. Elizabeth, perhaps you can salvage this explanation. Purple. You must be one of the main characters. She gestures a few seats to my right where my lavender-haired classmate sits. Her spine is straight as a ruler. No. I feel a curdle of distaste in the pit of my stomach as I lounge against my chair. Of course. Elizabeth Oshiro, class valedictorian, school poster child, and the area's golden girl. Nap time. I settle my head in my arms as Elizabeth leaps to her feet, smiling warmly. Certainly, during this time, Japan fell into chaos. Public demonstrations, often violent, occurred almost every day. Furthermore, political scandals regarding the national government kept spreading. The teacher relaxes Elizabeth's textbook recitation. She even shoots a quick glare in my direction as if to say, "See? Why can't you be like Elizabeth?" Eventually, local political powers became more effective than the centralized administration, hence why Isamu, I think they say it, operates as smoothly as it does. Yes, thanks to the mayor's efforts, perfectly done, Elizabeth. Elizabeth smiles primly and settles back into her seat, fixing her eyes on me with challenging disapproval. I only shrug my shoulders, sending her an easy smirk. I love this kid. I want to be him. Oh, beautiful and brainy. She might be worthy enough to make my list. I glance to my left just in time to catch another classmate, Yahiko Ikari, winking conspicuously at Elizabeth. She clearly ignores him. Well, that's Yahiko for you. I can't remember a day when he hasn't tried to flirt with some girl or another, nor can I remember a day where he wasn't flat out rejected. Technically, he's my former roommate, which makes him my friend of 2 years. How close of a friend? Well, that's for a debate. She managed to deflect my charms. What charms? Winking is not a charm. I wonder how. Me too. No one can resist the Yahiko Ikari. Yahiko! Yahiko clamps his mouth shut at the teacher's strident command. She leans heavily against her desk, massaging her temples with her fingers. Alright, class, thanks to Elizabeth, we've seen where we come from. I'm sure you're all wondering what the point of this history recap was. Not really, no. We must study the past to understand the future. As such, it's imperative, I can't read today, that the next topic be taken seriously. So, where do you all see yourself in 10 years from now? Nowhere. I'm barely able to stifle a snort. It's only, what, the second day of school? Sure, this is a third-year class. Sure, we're preparing for the college entrance exam. Does that mean that we have to know exactly what we want to do for the rest of our lives? The teacher pointedly looks at me, a hard glint in her eye. Yama Ishimoto, perhaps you'd like to get us started. I'm tempted to say no thank you, but that'd be pretty rude. I'll manage my parents' restaurant, I guess. Teacher's lips tighten over ever so slightly. I know what she's thinking. No passion, no ambition. He will be a failure, this one. It'll pay the bills. What more can I ask for? Excuse me. Really, dude? Out of anything you could have picked, you picked a restaurant manager? Well, what would you suggest? Add a bunch more, dude, like women and cars. And he criticizes me for my lack of imagination. Come on, it's 10 years, anything can happen. Teacher shoots him a disapproving glare as his voice raises dramatically in volume. Ah, Yahiko, thank you for volunteering. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Yahiko beams, and I feel a sudden sense of dread. Here goes his dream, the one that I have heard no less than 200 times before. Well, Teach, I see myself with a Ferrari F500 under one arm, a Lamborghini Aventador, I don't know how to say that word, 700-4 under the other, and a lot of beautiful women in between, fighting over the honorable privilege of bearing my children. The class stares at him. Ah, heck, let's have some fun. I whisper to him, what about the mansion? Right! Take all that and put in front of a 20,000 square foot mansion attended to by a staff of 1,000 maids. And where is it located? Oh, it's in the Caribbean, on an island, a man-made island specifically constructed just for me, with my name laser engraved into the hills, so that every plane that flies by sees that it belongs to. That's quite enough, Yahiko. Thank you for your input. Clearly, she doesn't believe in his dream. Actually, I don't think anyone except Yahiko believes in his dream. Then again, Yahiko has enough belief to make up for everyone else. Now, Umeko, what about you? As the rest of our classmates drone on about joining some kind of mega corporation like Lemniscate or Way Forward Pharmaceuticals, I lean closer to Yahiko. You forgot some things. I did? The yacht, the walk-in closet just for designer shoes, the private jet, a second mansion in Tahiti. Oh crap, I did! Hey, Teach! Fortunately for the teacher, the school bell rings before he can grab her attention. My classmates immediately shove their belongings into their bags and bolt for the door. Meanwhile, Yahiko heads straight for the teacher's desk, eyes lit with excitement, as he gabbers on and on about his yacht, and his designer shoes, and his private jet, and his second mansion in Tahiti. A restaurant manager, huh? And then there's Elizabeth. Slipping into Yahiko's now vacant seat, she shifts her backpack's weight onto the desk and raises a patronizing eyebrow at me. Well, sorry for being realistic, Miss CEO of a mega corporation. Sorry that I actually have ambition, Mr. Manager of the family restaurant. What? Should I have talked about having a mansion and cars and maids on my own personal island? You didn't even shoot for a restaurant not owned by your parents. They'll kick the bucket one day. I might as well be the one who takes over. Have some respect, would you? You look so angry. Don't you know sarcasm when you hear it? I snicker at that. Respect? Me? I flash her a bright, overly friendly smile. See you around, Lizzie. She fumes, but forces herself to take a deep breath until her expression stills. Unfortunately. That was a pretty nice comeback. I'll give her that much. Beth, still up for lunch? A student slides through the door with a warm smile and a wave. I recognize her as a girl who's always with Elizabeth. Don't know much else about her. In the blink of an eye, Elizabeth's face softens into a friendly grin. I'll be right there. This is a lot of story to it. I did not think it would have this much story. Yep, just in case it wasn't clear enough, her hate is directed exclusively at me. She's the queen of angels to everyone else. Particularly this girl, who I'd guess is the closet thing she has to a friend. The closest thing she has to a friend. Closet. Wow. I can't read. Well, Ishimoto, it's been a pleasure. Bet it has. She lifts her chin and stiffly walks out of the room, nearly bumping into a startled Yahiko on the way out. As a train of second year, probably her groupies, pull her away, Yahiko slips next to me. Why did she talk to you? Not me. The great Yahiko Ikari. Maybe because there's a limit to how many brain cells she's willing to sacrifice for conversation? Beats me, she's been doing that for a while. Really? We were in the same class last year. Really? I'm not surprised that he just learned about this. Then again, to be fair, I don't talk to Yahiko much about my personal life. Yeah, something like that. It's not important. Yahiko evaluates me for a second with an unusual stoic expression, but quickly shakes it off, his face melting into a grin. So, what'd you think about my dream earlier? This again, on second thought, maybe we should have kept talking about Elizabeth. Same as the other 200 times you've told me. It hasn't been 200... Has it really? 203 to be exact. Huh. So that means you think it's amazing, right? Totally! I think it's the best dream in history, and it's so original and realistic. Thanks, dude! No. But I don't think you're aiming high enough. Huh? What should I add? Aim for the moon. He gasps as if it's the best idea ever, the poor soul. Forget Tahiti, a mansion on the moon. You're stupid. You'd be the first. And probably the last. Just think about the possibilities. No one's even set foot on the moon. Imagine how famous I'll be if I build a mansion there. No one's ever set foot. Seriously? Either I stepped into the conversation at the wrong time, or someone just came up with a really stupid idea. Enter Rui Hayata, my friend of 10 years. Technically, she's a grade lower than me, but that doesn't stop us from hanging out. She stuck with me through thick and thin. She's probably knows me better than I know myself. Besides her stands Masato Kuragane, hardy in both build and personality. If I had to describe him in one word, I'd use fire. Easily antagonized, hard to put out, and blazes every obstacle out of his way. Afternoon, little daisies. What's going on here? I'm gonna build a vacation home on the moon. Somehow, I can't say I'm surprised. I know, right? I'm brilliant. Like the first man on the moon and the first man to build a mansion on it. You're so bright. You're blinding me. What have you been telling him? That a giant leap for him is a small step for mankind. She has to think about that for a moment, but I'm rewarded with a smirk. Clever. I know. Look, if you kids are done yapping, Yama and I gotta head to track. I didn't think Yama was joining again this year. Of course he is. This is news to me. Doesn't seem like a good idea considering he only went to one practice last year and ditched the rest. Well, he ain't ditching this year. Ain't that right, man? Look at your face. You precious little thing. Well, now that you mention it. What's that? I don't like your face. You guys didn't even win last year, Masato. No need to make a big deal. Masato's eyes flare with the instinctual need to prove the worthiness of track. We're winning this year. I got a secret weapon. Really? Masato lights up at Rui's apparent interest. See, we lost last year because we didn't have good names. This year, I've got a great one. He pauses for dramatic effect. Marvelous Masa. That face right, this face. Yeah. And that one. Well, at least this is a pretty good opportunity to joke around. Wow, that's fantastic, and I'll call myself Speed of Lightning Mountain Destroyer. The hell? You should rename yourself to Streaking Shadow Dark Eradicator, then we'll be unstoppable. Ain't no way I'm going with that. Yeah, he isn't great with sarcasm. I smirk at him, but before I can elaborate, the PA above us crackles to life. The club fair is officially open in the courtyard. Feel free to drop by and check out what your fellow students have planned. Already at just the second day, maybe the school's just making everything happen faster this year. I don't really see why. Isamu Imperial Boarding Academy has always done well for itself. Even throughout the recession, there's no need to change things now. Hey, it's club time, let's go take a look. No thanks, I'd rather not be blacklisted. What does that mean? It means that she's afraid to go with you. You'll outshine her so much that the clubs won't be interested in her. Oh, no. Rue glares at me. I only wink back. Well, you shouldn't worry about that, my dear Rue. I'm sure I can use my substantial sphere of influence to get you a good spot. I'm already in a club, you know. Drama club. Oh, right. She's been in the drama club since last year, and somehow he's still forgotten. Then what was Yama talking about? Nothing, just acting like an idiot. As usual. Well, you know what they say. Like attracts like. Rue elbows me sharply in the ribs, but her lips are pulling up at the corners. They also say opposites attract. Yeah, and we know which one you are. She slaps me playfully on the arm as Masato and Yahiko watch with blank stares. Did I just miss something? No more than you usually do. Yahiko frowns for a moment, but eventually shrugs the exchange off. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I need to find myself a club to grant grace with my innumerable talents. They're innumerable, alright. So without further ado, I bid thee farewell. He turns with a flourish of his hand, but Rue calls after him. You know that we'll be there, right? Huh? Club recruitment day. All the clubs will be there, including track and drama. Oh. Well, see you there. He whisks out of the room. You're coming to the man. Okay, you're coming to man the track booth, yeah? Me? Like I'm track's poster child? In fact, I'd probably just scare away potential recruits. Don't think like that. You can be a great asset, man. You just gotta believe. AKA every movie theme ever. We exchange snickers, but Masato grabs my arm. Really, man? You coming? Surprised by his sudden intensity, I contemplate it for a moment. It doesn't take long. Sure, why not? This sounds like one of my friends. Really? Not like I have anything else to do. Masato grins, releasing my arm. Good, I gotta go set up. but I'm expecting you there. He dashes out of the room after a quick wave to Rue. She smiles back and promptly turns to me. Have you figured out why he wants you in track so badly? Not a clue. She hesitates for a moment and glances around the room. You know, you could join drama club instead. It could be a valid excuse for Masato. I think he'd just ask why I joined a different club when I could have joined track. But still, I think you'd really like it. Honestly, it sounds like it could be pretty fun. Rue seems to enjoy it. She often claims that it's just like when we played make-believe as kids. And make-believe is one of the few things that I don't mind doing. But it's so much work. Yeah, this is definitely one of my friends. It's no more work than track, idiot. Besides, it could be really fun. I'll take your word for it. She rolls her eyes and shoulders a bag. Well, fine, Mr. Grumpy Pants. Some of us have club booths to manage, so I'm gonna get going. I'll go with you. We walk in step to the door, almost into freedom, and then the strident voice of the teacher rips through the air. Ahem! Yama Ishimoto, surely you didn't expect to escape so easily. Ah, yes, my attitude problems. I turn to Rue, suddenly pleading. Bail me out? Not a chance. What? What? It builds character. I have plenty of character. Come on, throw a distraction for me. I throw a shameless dose of puppy eyes. She only pokes my forehead, sticking her tongue out. You win some, you lose some. Just be glad it's with a teacher instead of the police. She darts off as I call falteringly after her. But at least the police wouldn't bore me to tears. What was that, young man? I turned to find the teacher hovering right behind me. Whoops. Nothing. Great weather we're having, huh? She doesn't seem amused. I would be. At this point, it's the second day of school. Unless she's referring to teaching me last year. Come to think of it, yeah, that's highly possible. It's clear that detention is doing nothing for your toxic behavior. Yeah, well, yeah, 'cause I can nap in detention. Therefore, I've taken the liberty of recommending you for therapeutic mentorship, which will take place on campus at the discretion of our dorm manager. Woohoo! Requirements will be 1 hour, 5 days a week. The mentor will need to sign off on every visit. The what now? Are you scheduling brainwashing sessions for me? Excuse me? You might have other ideas, young man, but civility and respect are integral cornerstones of our modern society. If it does result in scrubbing away some of that arrogance of yours, then I say good riddance. I'm shocked by this unusual, passionate outburst from her. She slows her breath, shaking as she jabs a book and envelope at me. Take this. Oh, take this. Mr. Ryota? Mr. Ryota's office. You know where it is. A tiny pinch of the tension releases Mr. Ryota's the mentor. Maybe this won't be so bad. I give the book a once-over. The cover is somber and 100% boring. Block letters proclaim primates of the 21st century, 100+ correctional techniques to improve the mindset of any underdeveloped adolescent. Well, gee, I'm honored. Take it. I take it. Goodbye, Yama Ishimoto. She flounces out of the classroom, clearly fed up with my shenanigans. Oh, my tattoo hurts. Wordlessly, I turn and head down the corridor. Guess someone's a little touchy. Not that I can blame her. If I had a student like me, I'd hate him too. I tromp down the stairs to the first floor and stop before a door at the edge of the hallway, bearing the sign J. Ryota, dorm manager. I rap sharply on the wood 3 times. Mr. Ryota? What is it? Nuclear war? What? No. Meh, don't feel like opening the door for anything less important. I could open the door myself. Locked it, don't bother. I pressed my ear against the door, listening keenly. There it is, action-packed orchestral strings just barely bleeding through the wood, faint clanging of swords on shields. Are you in a clan war, Mr. Ryota? ... Bah. A moment later, the door's lock clicks open. I slip inside the room, holding back a smile. The office is minimalistic in its furnishings, but fairly welcoming. Warm light encompasses the room, highlighting the comfortable chairs arranged around a coffee table that bears a bowl of potato chips. It looks more like the office of a therapist rather than the office of a school dorm manager. In the corner, I spot a comely mahogany desk. I guess it's supposed to be a brand name. On top of which sits Jiro Ryota in a very dramatic position. Really. Welcome to this satin room. It's not Satan. Have you brought an offering to appease the Dark Lord? I guess it's supposed to be Satan. Welcome to the Satan room. Have you brought an offering to appease the Dark Lord? Indeed I have. With an equally exaggerated bow, I present the book and note from my teacher. Mr. Ryota's eyebrows scrunch in confusion. The hell is this? I kinda got in trouble earlier for talking back. Instead of detention, the teacher's convinced that I need a more permanent solution. Like death? I can help you with that. She was thinking more along the lines of counseling, I believe. Oh, okay. What the hell is this? He shakes the book emphatically. I can't read. The curriculum that the teacher recommends for, helping me. Oh, right. Well, I'll put it where it belongs. He promptly throws it in the trash, which extracts a laugh out of me. Now to business. Let me read up on what exactly your teacher wants. His eyes just drift over the paper that I silently handed to him. Ha! Oh boy. Isn't this precious? Let me translate. Dear Mr. Ryota, I'm having trouble subduing a boy who actually has a brain and doesn't care for the inefficiencies of our bureaucracy. Sincerely, a woman who was certainly the most boring person in her graduating class. I choke back laughter as he crumples the paper into a ball and lobs it into the trash. By the way, don't tell anyone I said that, or I might get fired. And then you'd have to take counseling from Miss Hanazawa, and then where would we be? Consider the NDA signed. Mr. Ryota reclines easily against his chair, kicking his legs on the table. So, how's the apartment? Still in one piece, mostly. Good to hear. And Phil? The little houseplant, the one I placed on your shelf? Your memory sucks more than mine, kid. Oh, right. I vaguely remember Mr. Ryota forming an odd attachment to a plant when I'd moved into my apartment, even to the point where he named him Phil. I think he died. That's a bit odd. I thought it was a fake plant. Nope. Looked fake on the outside, I guess, but all real inside. A satisfied smile pulls at Mr. Ryota's lips, and I suddenly realize the metaphor. We're not talking about plants, are we? Your optimism is inspiring, kid. I would have thought your answer to be contrary. What, people will look real on the outside, but they're all fake on the inside? Something like that. We were talking about plants. How was I supposed to know? Well, you know now. So, now that you know, is your answer the same? No. Didn't even need to think about it? It's the truth. People pretend to be genuine on the outside, but inside they're nothing. Mr. Ryota evaluates me for a moment, but to my surprise, there's no judging in his gaze. You must be a real party pleaser. I'll be here all week. What made you draw such a depressing conclusion? I can tell that his mind's on the fast track of psychoanalysis, childhood trauma, clinical depression, suicidal tendencies. Time to put that to rest, because if anything should be blamed, it should be my 100% natural disdain for humanity. Power of observation, if anything? people like to be strong, confident, independent on the outside. Peel that away, and what do you get? Their heart. Then the heart must be pretty pathetic. Did I ever say otherwise? No, I guess he didn't. Mr. eases from the topic and leans back in it on his chair, drawing a planner from his drawer. Well, if it were up to me, I'd say that you're just like any other surely teenager going through the first throes of senioritis. The paperwork's been signed, and you know how bureaucracy goes. I thought our government was supposed to be more efficient since the national changes. Ha! You assume the mayor actually does anything important. He scrawls something down on his tablet, taps the screen, my phone buzzes gently in his pocket. Your teacher recommended that we meet every day, but honestly, who has time for that? We'll just play it by ear, and you let me know if you ever get the urge to murder someone. Probably means you're due for another checkup. I check what he sent me, a copy of the spreadsheet that's taped outside his door, revealing his available times. Wow, how do you have this much free time? Life as a dorm manager is just swell, isn't it? I thought you at least had some kind of job. I'll let you in on a secret. The kids here don't cause much trouble. Not because they're angels, not because they're boring, because they're too prissy. They don't want to get their manicured nails dirty with things like graffiti or booze. But they do need someone to cry to when they stub their toe. And the other teachers seem to think that I fit that job description. Actually, it's more like they don't want to deal with hormonal brats. So instead of being a helicopter parent, I get to be a bench warmer who just nods and smiles once every few minutes. Like with me? Well, you'll be more interesting than the rest of them, I hope. Yeah, that sounds like the academy in a nutshell. Half the people are too snobby to be fun, and the other half are too lazy to care. What do you get to hear? Whining about grades, toxic relationships? Sometimes, but not always. At any rate, I can't exactly complain, makes my job easy. Thank you for your massive contribution to society. You're absolutely welcome. They seem to equal yours. I snort. He chuckles. Yeah, this could have been really painful if I hadn't gotten Mr. Ryota. Well, as your loving, caring, and awe-inspiring mentor, I can hardly keep you from the beauty that is Club Recruitment Day. Oh no, I'm fine, really. Off you go, take a selfie and send it to me. Or I'll schedule an appointment tomorrow. But that's, you said... You need to expand your opportunities, broaden your horizons, go where no man has gone before. But... And most importantly, you need to get out of my office so I can check my clan. That's just sad, Mr. Ryota. World domination calls. See ya. Alright, I'm going to end this episode here. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Lucid 9. I think that's what it's called. It has a lot of story. I was surprised by how much story it has. There's no real, decisions to make. I was hoping it would have decisions. Maybe in the next episode there'll be more. But if you liked it, hit the like button below. Hit the subscribe button because I love you guys and I want to be able to share my channel with you a lot. Leave a comment below. I'll respond. Share it with a friend. And as always, stay you, stay awesome, stay amazing, stay handsome, stay beautiful, stay you, and everything that you are. And I'll see all you dudes in the next video. Bye-bye.